Hello dear students, in previous lecture we completed multiple choice questions MCQ. In this video we are going to learn very short questions VSQ of linear correlation. So let us start our today's work. First VSQ is given by define correlation. Question is asking in March 18 and 2021. Answer is if all simultaneous changes occur in values of two related variables due to direct or indirect cause and effect relation, then there exists correlation between two variables. Question number 2 is given by a defined correlation coefficient. The numerical measure showing the strength of degree of linear correlation between two variables is called correlation coefficient and it is denoted by R, and the value of R is always lying between -1 and +1. Question number 3. Identify whether there is positive correlation or negative correlation between the following pairs of variables. Question 3 to 6. Question number 3. The age of adult person. The age of adult person and life insurance premium at the time of taking insurance under the plan. Okay, we know that if age of a person is increases, then premium is also increases. When both the variables are increases simultaneously, there is a positive correlation between these two variables. Okay. Question number 4 is given by the sales and profit. The sales and profit of last 5 years for a mostly accepted product of a company. See, again we know that if sale of a company is increases, profit is also increases. When both the values are increases simultaneously, there is a positive correlation between x and y or two variables. Question number 5, the rate of inflation. The rate of inflation and purchase power. Rate of inflation, let us assume that rate of inflation equal to આપણે એને જે કહીએ ગુજરાતીમાં તો મોંઘવારી, and purchase power. If rate of inflation is increases, then purchase power is decreases. That means there is opposite change in both the variables. Change in both the variables is in opposite direction. So we can say that there is negative correlation between rate of inflation and purchase power. Question number 6. Altitude and amount of oxygen in air. Altitude means height. If altitude increases means height increases, level of oxygen is decreases. And when the change in two variables are in opposite direction, then there is a negative correlation between two variables. Okay, now question number 7. What can be said about correlation between the annual import of crude oil and the number of marriage during the same time? See, if value of annual import of crude oil increases, number of marriage increases, but there is no cause and effect relation between two variables. That's why it is called nonsense correlation. Okay, there is no cause and effect relation between these two variables. It is nonsense correlation. Question number 8 is asking in March 2019, the correlation coefficient between x and y is 0.5. What will be the value of correlation coefficient if 5 is added in each observation of x and 10 is subtracted from each observation of y? Okay, we know that correlation coefficient R is free from the effect of origin and scale. Effect of origin means what? Effect of plus and minus. If we add 5 in x and if we subtract n from y, the value of rx plus 5 equal to comma y minus 10, it is equals to rxy. So there is no change in value of r. It is equals to 0.4. The correct answer is 0.4. R equal to 0.4. Okay, question number 9 asking in July 2018, 22 and March 22 or 3 times in board examination. What is the main limitation of scatter diagram? Most IMP question. The main limitation of scatter diagram method is method does not give exact degree of correlation between two variables. It gives only nature of correlation between two variables. Question number 10. If the value of n square minus 1 is 6 times the value of sigma t square, then what is the value of r? Let us calculate. N square minus 1 is 6 times the sigma d square, sorry, is 6 times the sigma d square. So r is equals to 1 minus 6 sigma d square divided by n of n square minus 1. Okay, substitute the values 1 minus 6 sigma d square divided n of n square minus 1, which is equals to sigma d square. Okay, sigma d square cancel out. So we have 1 minus 1 left and 1 minus 1 equal to 0. So the correct answer is 0. Question number 11. What will be the sign of R if the value of the covariance is negative? See, what is formula of R? R equal to covariance of xy divided by Sx into Sy. Okay, see, Sx and Sy both are always positive. It never be negative. Okay, so sign of R depends on covariance. If covariance is positive, R is also positive, and if covariance is negative, R is also negative. In this question, if the value of covariance is negative, then value of R is also negative. R will be negative because value of R depends on sign of covariance of xy. Question number 12. What is bivariate data? Okay, if one variable is given, then it is called univariate data, and if two variables are given, it is called bivariate data, and more than two variables are given, it is called multivariate data. Here, the question is asking about bivariate data. Okay, so what is bivariate data? The data are collected at one time on two different characteristics of a sample unit is called see, here is spelling mistake. It is bivariate data. Question number 13. What is linear correlation? If the relation between two random variables can be expressed by linear equation y equal to a plus bx or x equals to c plus dy, then it can be said that there is linear correlation between the variables x and y. Question number 14. Wait. Question number 14. State the different method of studying correlation. There are three methods of studying correlation: scatter diagram method, Carl Pearson's product moment method, and Professor Charles Spearman's method of rank correlation. But if the question is asking that state the different methods of finding correlation coefficient, then we have only two options: Carl Pearson's product moment method and rank correlation. Okay. So when the method of studying correlation is asking, we have to write all three methods 1, 2 and 3. But if question is asking about correlation coefficient, then we have to write only two methods, Carl Pearson and Spearman's method. Question number 15 is given by write the definition of scatter diagram. The scatter diagram is a graphical method. In this method, one variable is taken as x and one other variable is taken as y, and value of both the variables are plotted on a graph paper. Okay, that is called scatter diagram method. Okay, according to our definition, plotting the values of variable x on x-axis and values of y on y-axis by taking proper scale on a graph paper. The graph showing the plotted points corresponding to n pairs x1, y1, x2, y2 till xn, yn is called a scatter diagram. Question number 16. Which statistician had first suggested the measure of correlation? The English statistician Carl Pearson. Carl Pearson had first suggested the measure of correlation. Question number 17. Give practical illustration of two correlated variables. There are lots of illustration, but the most popular two illustrations are given here. The cost of advertisement and sale. If we increase cost of advertisement, the sale is also increased. And second one is given by price and demand. Price of one variable is increases, then demand is decreases, or if demand is increases, then price is also decreases. Question number 18. State type of correlation. See, in previous, sorry, state type of correlation, there are two types of correlation, positive correlation and negative correlation. In positive correlation, there are two types, perfect positive and partial positive correlation. And in negative correlation, there are two types, perfect negative and partial negative correlation. Question number 19. Give practical illustration of positive correlation. See, there are lots of illustrations of positive correlation. When the change in two variables are in same direction, then there is positive correlation between two variables. Consumption of illustration 1 is given by consumption of fertilizer and yield of grain, and illustration 2 is given by monthly income and monthly expense. If income is increases, then expense is also increases. We can also give some different illustrations like height of a person and weight of a person. Height increases, then weight is also increases. Number of vehicles and number of accidents, advertisement cost and profit, etc. etc. Question number 20. Give two practical illustrations of negative correlation. Okay, here two illustrations are given, cost of living expenditure and savings. If cost of living expenditure is increases, then saving is decreases. And second one is population and per capita income at different periods of time in a region. If population is increases, then per capita income is decreases. આ સિવાય પણ આપણે એક્ઝામ્પલ આપી શકીએ. ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ એક્સપેન્સ એન્ડ સેવિંગ, સોરી, એક્સપેન્ડિચર એન્ડ સેવિંગ ઉપર આવી ગયું છે. એજ ઓફ ડ્રાઈવર એન્ડ નંબર ઓફ accidents. Age of driver is increases and number of accidents is decreases. Demand and price, demand increases, price decreases. These are some popular illustrations of negative correlation. Question number 20. Define perfect positive linear correlation. See, in scatter diagram method, we learn that if all the points of a scatter diagram lies on a straight line, lies on a straight line in increasing order, like if all the points on a scatter diagram in increasing order, then there is positive correlation, perfect positive correlation between x and y. A definition is given that when all the points on a scatter diagram are on straight line going upward from left lower left hand corner to upper right hand corner of the graph paper, then the variable x and y are said to have perfect positive correlation between them. Question number 29. Define perfect negative correlation. Okay, in perfect negative correlation, all the points lying on a straight line in decreasing order, like all the points of a scatter diagram lying on a straight line in decreasing order. And if, then there is perfect positive negative correlation between x and y. The definition is given by when all the points on a scatter diagram are on a straight line going downwards from upper left hand corner to lower right hand corner of the graph paper, then the variable x and y are said to have perfect negative linear correlation between them. Question 23. Explain lack of correlation. See, in lack of correlation, all the points of scattered diagram are haphazardly or randomly distributed on graph paper. Then there is no correlation between two variables. Two variables are said to be independent, or there is lack of correlation between two variables. The definition is given by when we cannot say the points on scatter diagram are scattered around and seen nearby any straight line, it can be said that there is almost lack of correlation between variable x and y. Or in other words, we can also write all the points on scatter diagram are randomly distributed, then there is lack of correlation. Question number 24. Which is the method used to know the nature of correlation between two variables? Actually, there are three methods of correlation. First one is scatter diagram method, second one is Karl-Pearson's method, and third one is Spearman's rank correlation coefficient. But in scatter diagram method, we can know only nature of a relation between two variables. We know only type of correlation between two variables. In remaining two methods, Carl Pearson and Spearman's method, we can find exact measurement of a relation that is called correlation coefficient. But in scatter diagram method, we can find only nature, only type of correlation. Question number 25. If there is negative correlation between two variables x and y, what will be the sign of covariance? Okay, see, formula of R is R equal to covariance of xy divided by Sx into Sy. Earlier in MCQ, we discussed that always Sx and Sy are always positive. That means sign of correlation coefficient depends on covariance only. Covariance may be positive or negative. So question is, if there is correlation between two variables x and y are negative, then what will be the sign of covariance? Obviously it is negative. તો આ negative sign હોય તો જ r ની sign negative આવે. બરાબર? It is equals to minus rxy. Sx sy is always positive. Question 26. Which type of correlation is between demand and price? If demand of a commodity is increases, then price is decreases, or if price is increases, then demand is decreases. That means there is negative correlation between two variables. If the change in demand and price is in constant proportion, then there is perfect negative correlation, and in other case it is partial negative correlation. So there is partial negative linear correlation between demand and price. Next question, question number 27, important question, asking in July 23. Explain cause and effect relationship using examples. Okay, and see, we have to write only two examples when question is asking in VSQ. But if it is asking in C section, then we have to write more than two examples. First of all, what is cause and effect relationship? Out of two related variables, due to the cause, if there is increases or decreases in the value of one variable, and the result is increases or decreases in the value of another variable, then we can say that there exists cause and effect relationship between two variables. Some examples are given: rainfall and yield, height and weight of a person, income and expenditure, demand and price, expense and saving. આ સિવાય પણ તમે બીજા એક્ઝામ્પલ લખી શકો. Question number 28. State the method of obtaining measure of correlation. Measure of correlation means what? Correlation coefficient. Actually, there are three methods in correlation. First is scatter diagram method. But in scatter diagram method, we know only nature of relation between two variables. We cannot find any specific measurement. But if we use Carl Pearson and Spearman's method, we can find correlation coefficient. It is called measure of correlation coefficient, and R is always lies between -1 and +1. Question number 29. Which is the axiom to be taken from very beginning to study correlation? Okay, before we study correlation, to study the correlation, the axiom to be taken from very beginning is that there is cause and effect relationship between two variables. If there is no cause and effect relationship between two variables, then the relationship is called nonsense relation or nonsense correlation. Question number 30. Write the name of method to find correlation of qualitative data. Okay, for quantitative data, we are using Carl Pearson's method. Sorry, Carl Pearson's. And for qualitative data, we have to use Spearman's rank correlation method. So for qualitative data, we are using Spearman's rank correlation method. Next question, question number 31. When is when is the use of Spearman's rank correlation method is best? Okay, in which situation Spearman's rank correlation is best? In the following circumstances, the use of Spearman's rank correlation method is best. There are 2 points are given. If the related data is of qualitative nature, then we have to use Spearman's method. And when the variation among the given numerical data is more, okay, when the variation in data is more, then Spearman's method is very useful to use. Question number 32. State the main demerit of method of rank correlation coefficient. See, what is main demerit of rank correlation? The value of correlation coefficient obtained by rank correlation method does not give the accurate value of R as compared to the correlation coefficient obtained by the method of Carl Pearson. Okay, because in Spearman's method we are using ranks only, Rx and Ry. We are not using original data, and in Carl Pearson's method we are using original data. So in this situation, Carl Pearson's method is called better than Spearman's method. Question number 33. When the rank of every pair are equal in rank correlation method, what is the type of correlation? R equal to 1. Let us calculate when the pair are equal, like 1, 2, 3. Rx equal to 1, 2, 3, and Ry equal to also 1, 2, 3. Rank of X and rank of Y are equal, therefore difference between Rx and Ry, Rx minus Ry, it is equals to 0, 0, 0. Sigma d is 0. Similarly, sigma d square equal to 0, 0, 0. Sigma d square equal to also 0. What is formula of obtaining R using rank rank correlation formula? 1 minus 6 sigma d square divided by n into n square minus 1. It is equals to 1 minus 6 sigma d square. Sigma d square equal to 0 divided by n equal to 3. 3 square equal to 9 minus 1. Okay, here numerator is 0 and 0 divided by any number equal to 0. So R is equals to 1. R equal to 1 when ranks of X and Y are equal. Question number 34. State the maximum and minimum value of rank correlation coefficient. The value of R is always lies between -1 and +1. So the minimum value of R is equals to -1, and maximum value of R is equals to +1. Question number 35. Interpret R equal to 0 and R equal to plus or minus 1. Okay, see, R equal to 0 means what? A lack of correlation. R equal to 0 means lack of correlation, absence of correlation, or independence two variables are said to be independent. If r equal to -1, then there is perfect negative correlation between x and y. And similarly, if r equal to +1, there is perfect positive correlation between x and y. Question 36. When r equal to 0, can it be said that x and y are independent variables? Why? The answer is when r equal to 0, it cannot be said that x and y are independent variables, because in that situation there may be exist another type of relationship. Question number 37. The value of If the value of correlation coefficient obtained by students of standard 12 in examination are 1.2, minus 1.2, 1.05 and minus 0.981, and write the true value of r. Okay, earlier we discussed that r is always lying between -1 and +1. Okay, तो r ની value હંમેશા -1 અને +1 ની વચ્ચે હોય. 1.2 is not possible because it is more than 1. Minus 1.2 is also not possible. 1.05 is also not possible. So correct value is 0.981. The correct value of correlation coefficient is minus 0.981. Question number 31. What will be the correlation between two variables if they are increases in the same direction in equal proportion? Okay, increases in same direction. Okay, in equal proportion. Then there is perfect positive correlation between two variables. The answer is if two variables are increasing in the same direction and in equal proportion, then there is perfect positive linear correlation between them. Question 39. Is the statement 1 less than r less than equal to -1, 1 less than equal to r less than equal to -1, true or false? Give reason. It is false statement because the minimum value of r is equals to -1 and maximum value of r is equals to +1, and r is always lying between -1 and +1. So this statement is false. Question number 40. State the effect of change of scale and origin on the study of coefficient of correlation. Okay, we know that there is no effect of plus and minus. That means correlation coefficient is independent from the effect of origin, and similarly, there is no effect of multiplication and division. That means correlation coefficient is independent from the effect of scale. The answer is the coefficient of correlation is independent of the change of scale and origin. Question number 41. Okay, it is related with the previous question. Rxy equal to 0.6, r equal to 0.6. And what is the value of r x comma 1 by 2y or y by 2? You can also write y by 2. Okay, in previous VSQ we learned that there is no effect of multiplication or division or plus or minus on correlation coefficient. That means there is no change in rx comma y by 2. It is equals to 0.6. Question 42. State Carl Pearson's product moment formula. Carl Pearson's product moment formula to find coefficient of correlation. The formula is R equal to summation of x minus x bar into y minus y bar divided by under root of sigma x minus x bar whole square into y minus y bar whole square. Question 43. How will you come to know the nature of correlation by scatter diagram? Answer is from the pattern of the points on scatter diagram we will come to know the nature of correlation. Okay, like if all the points lying on a straight line in increasing order, then there is perfect positive correlation. All the points on a straight line in decreasing order, perfect negative correlation. All the points lying around a straight line in increasing order, then partial positive. Similarly, all the points lying around a straight line in decreasing order, then there is negative correlation. all the points are randomly distributed, then lack of correlation or absence of correlation. So we will come out to know the nature of correlation using the pattern of points of scatter diagram. Question number 44. Is correlation coefficient an absolute measure or relative measure? See, correlation coefficient is an absolute measure. This is our answer. Question number 45. The value of coefficient of correlation of greater than or equal to which value? Okay, the value of coefficient of correlation is greater than or equal to -1. R is greater than equal to -1 because R is between -1 and +1. So minimum value is -1. That means R is always greater than equal to -1. Question number 46. If all the points on a scatter diagram are not collinear, and write your opinion about the correlation between x and y. Answer is, if all the points on scatter diagram are not collinear, then there is partial linear correlation between the variables x and y. For example, if all the points lying on a straight line, around a straight line in increasing or decreasing order, then there is partial relation between two variables. It may be positive or negative. Okay, now question number 47. Write interpretation of -1 less than or less than 1. See, if r equal to -1, it is perfect negative correlation. If r equal to +1, it is perfect positive correlation. But here r is between -1 and +1, then there is partial linear correlation between two variables. If it is minus, then partial negative, and if R is positive, then partial positive correlation between two variables. 48. What is the tie in observations? See, if we are given Rx, means rank of x. See, if x is given by 8, if x is given by 10, 20, 27, 20, 30, 35, and 30, 32, and 30. Okay, see, in given data, 20 is repeated for twice and 30 is repeated for thrice. Okay, when an observation is repeated for two or more times, then there is tie between, it is called tie between two observations. See, what is our answer? When in the data of two variables, two or more observations are of same values or repeated more than two times, then there is a tie in observation. Question number 49. If the corresponding rank given to variables x and y are quite reverse, what is the value of coefficient of rank correlation between x and y? What type of correlation is there between x and y? Okay, see, ranks of x and y are totally reverse. Like if rx equal to 1 to 3 and ry equal to 3 to 1. Find d. D equal to rx minus ry. Rx minus ry, 1 minus 3 equal to minus 2, 2 minus 2, 0, and 3 minus 1 equal to 2. Sigma d equal to 0. Now find d square. D square equal to squaring d. 4, 0, and 4. Total is 8. Formula of R equal to 1 minus 6 sigma d square divided by n square minus 1 is equals to 1 minus 6 into sigma d square. Sigma d square equal to 8 upon n equal to 3, n square equal to 9, 9 minus 1 equal to 8. 8 cancel out. So 1 minus 6 upon 3 equal to 2 and it is equals to minus 1. See, what is our answer? If the corresponding ranks given to variables x and y are equal, are quite reverse, then the coefficient of rank correlation between variables x and y is -1. There is perfect negative linear correlation between x and y. Question number 50. Which type of data rank correlation method cannot be in for which type of data rank correlation method cannot be used? The answer is when the data is in form of classified bivariate data, the rank correlation method cannot be used. For example, classified observations means what? Instead of x, if classes are given like 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, etc., etc. In this type of data, we cannot use rank correlation method. Question number 51. State the assumptions of Carl Pearson's correlation coefficient, asking in July 2019. Assumptions of Carl Pearson's correlation coefficient. There is a linear relationship between two variables and there is cause and effect relationship between two variables. આ ક્વેશ્ચન આપણે આગળ પણ આવી જતો બરાબર છે. Question number 52. Wait, question 52. In which situation the value of actually this is spell mistake. Carl Pearson's correlation coefficient and Spearman's rank correlation coefficient are equal. Important question. In which type of situation both the correlation coefficients are equal? See the answer. When the values of two variables x and y are some arrangement of first n numbers, natural numbers. The correlation coefficient by Carl Pearson's method and Spearman's method are equal. For example, x and y are given by 1, 5, 3, 2, 4, and y is given by 4, 3, 5, 1, 2. Okay, see the pair. X is first five natural numbers and y is also first five natural number. In this type of situation, Carl Pearson's and Spearman's rank correlation coefficient are equal. Question number 53. On what does the sign R of correlation coefficient depends? Okay, upon question આપણે આગળ આવી જશે. Formula of R is equals to covariance of xy divided by sx into sy. We know that sx and sy are always positive. That's why sign of R is always depend on sign of covariance between x and y. Last question, question number 54. If all the points plotted in a scatter diagram lie on a single line only, then what will be the value of R? See, it may be positive or negative correlation. Let me draw two diagrams. Wait. Okay. Now see, if all the points lying on a straight line in increasing order, then there is perfect positive correlation between x and y. It is equals to r equal to plus 1. And if all the points of a scatter diagram lying on a straight line in decreasing order, then there is perfect negative correlation between two variables, r equal to minus 1. So our answer, if all the points plotted, actually this is also a spell mistake, plotted in a scatter diagram lie on a single line only, then the value of r is minus 1 or plus 1. Okay, student, I hope કે તમને VSQ બરાબર સમજાણા હશે. So we will meet in next video lecture. Goodbye everyone. Take care.